Hello, hello, hello. Hello to all my virtual family. Come on in. Let me share this out really quickly. I hope that you are all doing well. Come on in. Let me know how you are all doing. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Oh, my lighting on YouTube is so hazy. Don't know why. But yeah, I am here. Hello to everyone. Welcome to my sphere. I am Pastor Anika V. Brown. Yes, I am. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Let me just take a moment to say thank you to everyone that sent your kind words, your congratulations, everything that was said. I appreciate you all so much. So much. I appreciate you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your continued support. Now, I always say this, and it is a fact that getting on here and talking to you all has really helped my transition into ministry a lot easier. It has. Getting on here and sharing the word of God with you all and sharing my testimony with you all has really helped me to transition into ministry positions easier. It has. So I appreciate you all, everyone who has ever hopped on my live stream, whether you commented or not, I still appreciate you. Hey, Keisha, how are you? Thank you for hopping on. I really appreciate you. And just you hopping on and watching has helped my help to build up my confidence and to say, hey, I can really do this thing that I was called to do, right? I can really do this. So I thank you all so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all the support over all these, what is going on 6 years now since I've been on Facebook, like doing live streams, going on 6 years. Yeah. And like I said, it has really helped to prepare me for what it is that I'm or I've entered into right now in this season of my life. So I really appreciate you all, every one of you who has showed up on my live, who've ever sent me a message, inboxed me. I appreciate you all. I thank you, thank you, thank you so much for your continued support and for your love. Amen. Awesome. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about seeds. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. We are going to talk about seeds, right? Hello to my YouTube family as well. We are going to talk about seeds tonight, and more so from the perspective of your seed being judged before it has the opportunity to turn into something. Blessings, Sister Susan. How are you? How was your day? Thank you for hopping on. So, we're going to talk about seeds. And again, from the perspective of your seed being judged before it uh, gets to produce what's inside of it, right? Before it gets to turn into something. You know, how people put their mount on you before you become somebody, right? And then when you get to that point, okay, let me get into my lesson. So, the really quick two verses that I want to read tonight. And then I'm going to read a little bit from the Message version. But first, I'm going to read from King James, 1 Corinthians chapter 15. Your day was good. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm going to read from First Corinthians chapter 15. I'm going to read verse 37 and 38. Those two verses, and then I'm going to read a little bit from the Message Bible to put some perspective to what it is that I'll be talking about tonight. All right. And as you see, the topic says, don't judge my seed. Don't judge my seed. Give it an opportunity to get in the ground and do what it has to do and then turn into something, right? Yeah. Don't judge my seed. So First Corinthians chapter 15, reading verse 37 and verse 38. And it says, and that which thou sowest, you sow seeds, right? Sowest, thou sowest not that body. So the seed that you sow is, it's not a plant yet, but you're sowing a seed. So it's saying you sow a seed, you don't sow the plant, right? So it says, in that which thou sowest not that body that shall be, right? But bear grain. So after it's sown, then it bears grain. It may chance of wheat or of some other grain. So it may turn into anything. That's really what this is saying. You sow a seed, you don't sow the plant. You wait for the plant to come from the seed. So you sow the seed, it may turn into a grain or it may turn into a wheat. You don't know. You don't know yet. That's what verse 37 is saying, right? Blessings, Sister Moore. Thank you so much for hopping on. Thank you so much. Verse 38 says, but God giveth it body as it had pleased him, and to every seed his own body. Right? So Apostle Paul is saying in verse 37, you sow a seed, you don't sow the plant. So give the seed a chance to turn into a grain or turn into a wheat, whichever one it's going to turn into. But know that God is the one that's going to give it a body because it pleased him, right? And every seed has its own body. So someone may judge your seed based on their experience, based on what it is that they went through. So your seed is to go start that ministry, and they're telling you, oh, you can't do this. And they're telling you based on their experience. But Apostle Paul is saying here, God giveth it a body as it pleased him. As it pleased him, right? And to every seed, he gives it its own body. All right. I'm going to read a little bit from the Message Bible, which some people say it is the Hood Bible because it gives you plain English. Plain English, not like the King James, right? So the Message Bible, I'm going to read a little bit of what it says here. And again, I'm reading First Corinthians chapter 15. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, reading verse 37 and 38. You plant a dead seed. Soon there is a flourishing plant. There is no visual likeness between a seed and a plant. You could never guess what a tomato would look like by looking at a tomato seed. Isn't that a fact? That is a fact. That is a fact. You would never guess what a tomato would look like by looking at a tomato seed. What we plant in the soil and what grows out of it don't look anything alike. This is the Message Bible. Make sure you have one so that it explains it in plain English for you, right? When you're reading the scriptures. So again, my topic tonight, don't judge my seed. Don't judge my seed. So ever so often in life, we find that there are individuals who are very quick to form some sort of opinion or come to some sort of conclusion about the end result of a thing or the future of an individual. This practice has been around from the beginning of time, and it is even more prevalent today. Now, one quote from an unknown author says this: people are to judge others' faults, but never quick to point out their own. Now, if you have ever seen or experienced this, I want you to put a one in the comment. Let me know that I'm not the only one whose seed was judged before it had an opportunity to turn into something. Put a one in the comments if you have ever experienced that. Let me know I am not alone. Let me know. Blessings, Sister Tona. Thank you for hopping on. Thank you for hopping on. Now, some folks makes it a point of their duty to focus on and to highlight whatever shortcoming another person has. But I want you to have this phrase ready on your tongue the next time someone comes at you in a negative way, to judge what it is that you're doing, the seed that you're planting and expecting something from it. I just want you to tell them, don't judge my seed. Don't judge my seed. Don't judge it. Right? I want to talk to the one tonight that has been trying their best to do something new, to achieve a new goal, to get to that next level in life. But it seems like there is always something or someone to remind you of where you've been, or to put a spotlight on what it is that you're missing in your life right now. I want you to know that there is a seed within you, and that will sprout into something beautiful because God has his hand on it. And we read the scripture already. It says, God giveth it the body. God is going to give your seed the body, right? Because it pleased him. So let's talk about seeds for a little bit. Let's talk about seeds. Yes, don't judge my seed. Don't judge my seed. Let's talk about seeds for a little bit. Here's a definition for seed, and I want you to hear this in the spirit. I want you to hear this definition in the spirit. It says it's a fertilized, ripened oval of a flowering plant containing an embryo and capable normally of germination to produce a new plant. To produce a new plant. I want you to focus on the last portion of this definition. It says that a seed, through germination, which is the development process, produces a new plant. Anybody excited about the new? I know I am excited about the new. So no matter what your seed looks like right now, it still has the capability to produce something new in your life. And I declare that it will be beautiful. It will be beautiful. It will be beautiful. So your seed of studying how to start a business, you may not have the ability to go to university to study business, but you are consuming all the free resources that are available to you. That's a seed, and that will turn into something beautiful. Blessings, my sister Tanya. I love you so much. I love you. All right. So your seed also of calling or putting together a prayer line, a weekly prayer line, because you may not have all the resources right now to launch a full-fledged ministry, but you're praying every week with your group. That is a seed, and that will turn into something beautiful. Somebody may say, what are you doing meeting every week with these people? Don't judge my seed. Don't judge my seed. Somebody told me before, or said to me before, what are you doing getting on live stream? You don't even have any following. If there's one person that shows up and hear what I have to say and it changes their lives, I have done my job. I have done my job. I have done it, right? So if they're going to talk about you because you're doing this prayer call every week and they want to judge what it is you're doing, just say, don't judge my seed. Maybe your seed is studying the housing market, Even though you're not in a position yet to purchase that house, but you are familiarizing yourself with what interest rates are and how that affects your payments. These are all seeds that will turn into something beautiful, because when your time comes and you are in the position to purchase a house, you already have consumed the information that you need and you have the know-how down pat. Any idea or plan that you have, they're all seeds. And in that seed lies the possibility of producing something new in your life. That's what the definition said, right? Right? Germination, through germination to produce a new plant. So that seed, that idea, that plan that you have, it's all a seed, and in that seed lies the possibility of producing something new in your life, something beautiful, something beautiful. So keep declaring, don't judge my seed. Don't judge my seed. Don't judge my seed. Don't do it, because it's going to blow your mind when it turns into something beautiful. It's going to blow your mind. I know there will be someone to say, oh, you can't start that business. You don't have the connection. You don't have the money that's needed. Or maybe they'll say, you don't know anything about ministry. What makes you think that you can be a major part of ministry? Or what makes you think you can start a ministry? I've heard that so many times. I've heard that. But my response, don't judge my seed. And your response should be, don't judge my seed. Don't judge my seed. And if you need more facts to present to them that proves, listen, don't judge the seed, because something beautiful is going to come from it. Listen to this. So, in my view, a sunflower seed, somehow to me, it just looks like little roaches. I don't eat sunflower seeds. I don't. Somehow it just looks like little roaches, and just looking at it makes me queasy. But here's the funny thing, the flower that comes from this insect looking type of seed, right? The flower that comes from it is so beautiful to me. Every time I see a sunflower, I reflect on the beauty of the sun rising in the calm of the morning. Every time I see a sunflower, there's something about a sunflower that brings me so much peace. Weird, right? Weird. But the seed scares me. It looks icky to me. But a sunflower, it brings so much peace. I know. Yes, Roach. Yes, it does. It does. It really does. It does. It looks like roaches to me, like the little ones. That's what it looks like. But a sunflower is so beautiful to me. It's so beautiful. It really makes me reflect on the sun rising. There's just such a calm feeling that comes over me whenever I see a sunflower. So don't judge the seed. Don't judge the seed. Don't judge it. You can use that analogy the next time someone tries to judge your seed, right? And I want to remind you, or remind yourself, because I'm not going to be there every day. I want you to remind yourself every day, I'm becoming something beautiful. I'm becoming someone who changes the lives of others. My fruit will change situations and circumstances for others. Though my seed is not beautiful right now, what will be revealed will be beautiful. So don't judge my seed. Don't judge my seed. Now, as you go through, I want you to also remember part of the definition talks about germination. Germination is a process. It is a process, and process takes time. It does. Process takes time. I want you to put that in the comments. Process takes time. It does. It does. So on those days, when you look around and you are still in your seed form, remind yourself that transformation is a process. On those days when you feel a bit overwhelmed from being judged or your seed being judged, remind yourself that germination is a process, but eventually, your seed is going to turn into something beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And like the sunflower, they won't be able to deny the fact that it is beautiful. They won't be able to deny that fact that it's beautiful. Now, there are 5 steps to germination, and I believe these 5 steps will help to prepare you as you go through your transitional phase or go through your germination phases. And here they are. So, step one, the seed is planted. That dream or that idea is deposited within you. Note that the seed is covered by dirt. The seed is covered by dirt. So be prepared for an influx of fear and anxiety and the naysayers and the worry or the anxiety about what you don't have. All of that may fall on you. All of that may come rushing down, falling on you. But like the seed, you have to use this to fuel your growth. You have to. You have to use this to fuel your growth. Push through all that you will experience because you will experience some stuff. Push through all that you have to experience in this phase so you can grow. Though the soil is heavy and it is messy, the seed draws good stuff from it so it can make it to the top of the soil one day. I want you to get that in the spirit. The soil is messy and it's heavy. So all the issues, all the things that you have to deal with that is weighing you down because you've decided to do this thing. You've decided to go forward with it. The seed, understand that it still has to draw nutrient from the soil, though it's heavy, though it's messy. It has to draw good stuff from the soil so that one day it can make it to the top. It can grow up and make it to the top. I want you to get that in the spirit because you're going to make it to the top, right? So the first step is the seed is planted, the idea or the plan is deposited within you. Be ready for all that dirt. Be ready for all that dirt that's going to fall on you. It's a process, right? Step 2, as the seed draws from the soil, it begins to swell. It begins to swell. So much so that it splits. It splits open. So as you grow, understand that you will get to a point where something uncomfortable has to happen for you to get to that next level. Something uncomfortable has to happen. Be it a split with friends, split with family members, a split with the habit that you love so much, but it is unproductive. A split has to happen. A split has to happen. Something uncomfortable will happen. Something uncomfortable will take place before you get to your next level. It has to happen. That's just how it is. And I want you to be prepared for this phase, for this part of the process. I want you to be prepared. You're going to start consuming so much that it's going to split you open, right? And you have to split open. So remember the it says that there's an embryo within the seed needs to grow, that needs to expand. And at a certain point, the shell of the seed is not going to be able to contain it because it's growing. So that's what's going to take place with you, right? A split is going to happen, be it from a habit, be it from a friend, be it from a job, be it from a relationship, family members, whatever it is. There's going to be a split that takes place because not everything or not everyone is going to be able to go with you. So as that embryo is coming out of the shell, it has to leave the shell behind in the ground, the shell of that seed, and the embryo is going to grow up, right? I hope this is making sense. I hope it's making sense to you all. Awesome. It's good. Okay, great. All right. Step 3, we're almost done. You know, I don't take up all your time. I get on here, give you the word, and then I have to go. All right. So, step 3, the roots come out of the seed to anchor it for the great expansion that is about to take place, even greater expansion. And note that this step is extremely important for longevity and sustainability. The roots come out of the seed in step 3. It comes out. So that embryo, part of it is growing down. So it's creating that root is growing down, right? So again, the roots are extremely important for longevity and for sustainability. Your roots have to be strong and stable because even if the plant makes it to the top without strong roots, it will not be able to survive the different atmosphere that is above ground. It won't. So the roots are important. The wind, the rain, the harsh sun that it's going to have to deal with once it gets out of the ground and gets to the top, it needs strong roots to handle that, right? Everything that will impact you when you rise to your new level of success, you need strong roots for longevity and for sustainability. It's not just about praying for success. You need everything that comes along with it to sustain you, to make sure that the success lasts, right? To make sure that the new thing lasts. So the root is very important. And again, your roots is to handle all the other different elements that you will experience once you get to the top. If you don't have principles and morals and boundaries, which are your roots or your solid foundation, you may not be able to sustain success. If there are no principles and there are no morals or there are no boundaries that you live by, you will not be able to sustain your higher level or your next level. You'll not be able to sustain success if you don't have those things in place. You need roots and you need strong ones, principles, morals, boundaries, all roots that are important. When you get there, you need to have them in place. You do. Roots are important. Also, in the third phase, another thing that happens is a shoot is developed, right? So the root goes down and the shoot goes up. So remember that embryo inside of the shell, it starts to expand. Now it's growing a root and it's growing a shoot in phase 3 or step 3. A shoot is also developed and that goes up, which is the plant making its way to the top of the soil. It's making its way to the top of the soil. This is a stretching that takes place in your growth. That's what this phase represents, stretching that takes place in your growth. This is where you are making that phone call that scares you. This is where you are going to that meeting that makes you sweat the entire time that you're there, like you're nervous. You're sitting at this table with all these influential people. Yeah, that's your shoot going up, aiming for the top. Yes. Yeah. This is where you're gonna go to that meeting. And this is where you're having the hard conversation with the investors, if that's your thing, if that is what you do, right? This is where you're having the hard conversation with the investor. Your plant is shooting for the top of the soil. It's shooting to get out. It's necessary. The stretching is necessary. Yes, it is. So this is step 3. You develop your roots and your shoot comes up. It is getting ready to burst through the surface. Your shoot goes up. So you're doing uncomfortable things in this phase because it's stretching you. You're growing. It's stretching you. And it's all important for growth. All right. So step 3 is where the root and the shoot is developed. You're aiming for the top of the soil and you're making sure that your roots are strong and stable so that you are sustained and that you have longevity when you get to the top. I hope this is making sense. All right. Step 4, we're almost done. We're almost done. Step 4 is continued growth. Step 4 in the germination process is continued growth. You never want your growth to be stunted or to stop prematurely. The seed will just die under the soil if it's not growing. If the growth is stunted or it stopped prematurely, it's just going to die under the soil, right? So in step 4, is continued growth. Yes. Amen. All right. So step 4 is continued growth that's taking place. In this step, you have mastered how to navigate the soil. You have mastered how to pull nutrients from the soil, even with all the noise around you, even with the naysayers and the negativity being spewed. You have still mastered how to pull nutrients from the soil that you're planted in, right? You have done some stretching, so your shoot has gone up, your root has gone down, and you have momentum, and the growth process is in full motion. It's in full motion. So, step 4 is continued growth. Continued growth. And again, this is necessary because if there's no growth taking place, the seed on the ground, it's just going to die. Nothing's going to happen, right? So you want continued growth. So in step 4 of the germination process, it's continued growth. You have mastered how to navigate. You have mastered how to stretch, how to reach. You've mastered how to pull nutrients. That all takes place in step 4. All right. And step 5, which is the final step in your germination or your transitional process. Step 5, which again is the final step for germination, because once you get to the top and you go through the soil, it's a whole different ball game up there. It is a whole different ball game. So in step 5, there's a little bud that comes out of the ground. It's new life, it's new environment, it's a new look. You're looking forward to all things new. All things new. All things new in this phase. All things new. You can now say, I am no longer a seed, but a plant. I am no longer a seed. I'm a plant. I'm a living organism, and I can take part in photosynthesis, which is the exchange of gases that helps other living things to survive. Yes, it does. So now you're contributing to the world in a major way. You are impacting the world in a great way. Yes, you, the seed that they talked about. Yes, you, the seed that they said would never turn into anything good. But God, but God, God has the final say. Yes, He does. Yes, he does. God has the final say. You're no longer a seed, but now you are a plant with roots. That's very important. You are a plant with roots. That within itself is something to be proud of, something to celebrate. So I want you to keep in your mind, don't judge my seed. Don't judge my seed. The scripture says, God giveth it a body as it pleased him, and to every seed his own body. To every seed his own body. Don't judge my seed. God is still molding me, and it will be beautiful when he's done. It will be beautiful when he's done. I want you to keep that in mind. The next time someone comes at you or something is said in a judgmental way, even if it's a negative self judgment is you talking down to yourself. That's what it is. Or that little voice in your head that is saying, you can't do this. You're not qualified to do this. There's no way this is going to work out. That's negative self judgment, right? Even if it's negative self judgment that you're making about yourself or against yourself, tell yourself, don't judge my seed. Yes, it's okay to do that. It's okay. It's okay. Tell yourself, don't judge my seed. God is still working on it, and it will be beautiful. It will be beautiful. Keep that in mind and watch the tremendous growth that takes place in your life. Tremendous growth that takes place in your life. Go through your germination process. Go through it. It's a process, but eventually that seed is going to turn into something so beautiful. Like I said, I love looking at sunflowers. Even though the seed, it's a bit scary, but I love sunflowers. I do. It's something calming and relaxing about sunflowers for me. Yes, for me. There's just something so relaxing about sunflower. So go through your germination process, and anyone that tries to judge your seed, just let them know, hey, don't judge my seed. God is still working on it, and it's going to be something beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. All right? Let them know. Don't judge my seed. Don't judge my seed. Something beautiful is going to come from it. All right. Well, that's all I have for tonight. Let's stay connected. If you're watching a replay, hashtag replay. Let me know you saw this. Let me know if it made sense to you, if it helped you. Let me know, let me know, let me know in the comments. And let's stay connected. You could always reach out to me. I'm always available via my inbox or my email, anikavbrown@gmail.com. Yes, don't judge my seed. Don't judge my seed. Well, I love you all with the love of the Lord. I will be back on Wednesday. I have two very important meetings late in the evening on Wednesday, but I'm definitely going to try to be back on Wednesday. If not, I'll be back on Friday. All right. I love you all with the love of the Lord. Good night.